What's up, everybody? You're listening to the Unpaved Path, a podcast that inspires the next generation of female athletes to pursue their goals and own their journey. My name is Reagan Rust. I'm a former captain of Boston University's Division I women's ice hockey team and pro hockey player. I'm talking with female athletes of all backgrounds to talk about their journeys, the lessons they learned along the way, and advice they'd like to give younger athletes. My guest today plays hockey in one of the most tropical places you can imagine. She is the current captain of Team Philippines women's ice hockey team and is one of about 250 people who play hockey in the Philippines. It was so awesome finally getting to meet her virtually. Hopefully it can be in person soon. If you want to follow along on her journey, Danielle can be found on Instagram at Danielle Lee. Hey Danielle, thanks so much for being on today.
Hi, thank you for having me.
No problem. What's it like in the Philippines right now? How's life?
Oh, honestly, really bad. Like the COVID cases just hit an all-time high, like the new daily cases. Yeah. So I think the other day was 5,000 new cases in one day. And most of that's in Metro Manila. I don't know about the rest of the country. But yeah, it's pretty bad. And it's sad because it's been a year in lockdown. Mm-hmm. I just stay home though. I work from home. And yeah, honestly, not much going on with me. Like I'm a homebody to begin with, so I don't mind. But I'm staying home.
Yeah, I saw you were at the beach though, weren't you? Like social distance, obviously.
Except for that week. Yeah, I went to the beach 2 weeks ago. No, because like it's my mom, my birthday, and my brother's birthday all in Feb. So we decided to go out. Yeah, I know you're a Feb
baby
awesome. Too.
Yeah. I didn't know. I'm sorry. Happy belated birthday. I did not wish you happy birthday, I don't think. I was in a whole moving situation. No, that's awesome. I mean, it sucks that like it's still in lockdown. That's kind of the same thing here. Like when I was in California, everything was locked down. They shut down all of the restaurants. Can't go to the library. You can't like really do anything. Like even the ice rinks, that was like hard to come by. It would be like maybe once every month for me if I was lucky, but like some people were going more often than that. It's just like I don't know how they were doing it. It's scary at the same time. Like I don't want to catch it.
I haven't been on the ice in over a year. The rink has been closed for a full year, and I don't think it's going to open anytime soon because, like I said, the cases are super bad. Wow. Yeah. And the rink is inside a mall, so people try to avoid the malls, and so even if the rink opens, I don't think they'll be able to like stay open. I think they'd lose a bit of money, maintaining it and stuff. So I don't know, no hockey and yet, but sad.
That's so sad. Do you like stick handle outside right now?
Yeah, I do. So like, yeah, I stick handle. I work on my shot because like I don't have a shot. And I do strength and conditioning. Watching a lot of hockey. Thank goodness the NHL like resumed. Just doing what I can. But of course, like we miss the ice so bad. Like, yeah. I don't think I've been away from hockey this long, like since I started playing.
Really?
Crazy.
Yeah. I was feeling the same way, like back at the very beginning of the pandemic. And then even once I came back from Budapest, I didn't touch the ice for like 6 months. And I was like, I'm losing my mind. Like, I didn't think I was going to miss it this much, but now that I can't have it, I want it and give it back to me.
Oh no, but you have Morse blades, right? I saw that, and you go blading.
Yeah, I have some Bauer ones.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, that's great. I mean, that's something. I don't really get to go out. Like the roads aren't that nice outside the house. But I do have like probably like 5 by 5 meters of space, which isn't a lot. Like if you put a net there, I'm just like going around in circles, shooting with that height difference.
Yeah, that's awesome. The roads are, it's really hit or miss here in like a city because you'll see like potholes, you'll see like all of a sudden the sidewalk will go like this and then back down. It's like jumping over things most of the time. And like I'll blade over cobblestone. Like it's just like super random. I don't know why I do it, but like, it's still fun for me. Do you hang out with Team Philippines a lot? Is that like a core group of your friends?
Well, before COVID, yeah, but obviously now I don't get to see them And to begin with, we don't live in the same area. So some of them actually even live outside of Manila. Some live here, but still a bit far. So we haven't seen each other in a year since our last training, actually.
Oh
But we have
no.
had a few, you know, but we have had a few Zoom calls just to catch up. But I don't know, everyone's just busy with work and school. Everyone went off and did their own thing, which is fine. I think everyone's doing the same thing. But yeah, yeah. I mean, I resigned for my job recently, so I'm gonna get them all together more often now.
Wait, why'd you resign? What happened?
Well, I'm thinking of studying again, but I don't know. I don't have anything like set yet. I'll figure it out. But yeah, I was working a corporate job for the past 6 months or so. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I just missed the unpaid athlete life a bit too much.
Same. It's okay. I totally feel you with that. It's nice. Like I did the same thing. Like I worked corporate for a year and then I was like, man, hockey's calling my name, so I probably should go. And so then I quit my corporate job too. And I totally agree with you. It's kind of nice, like just wanting to play hockey and stuff like that, and even going to school. Like, what are you thinking about studying?
Well, I don't want to jinx it, but since you asked anyway, I'll just answer the question. So I applied for law schools. I actually applied 2 years ago and got in, but so I found out I got in while I was at the tournament in UAE, and as soon as I found out that I got in, I cried. I was like, "Mom, I don't want to go to law school. I still want to play hockey."
Oh no.
Yeah, because well, obviously law school is gonna be very demanding, like time wise, and that meant no hockey. And at the time, I was expecting to play in the Southeast Asian Games a year later, but that didn't happen. So I'd say I kind of regret it, but then not really. I don't know. Like a lot has happened since then. Like I wouldn't trade it exactly, but yeah. So I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully, I get in again this time around. That I actually plan on going.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely.
but
What
if
kind
you
of law
tell
do you
me
want?
you're coming over, then maybe I won't. I'll stick with hockey.
Yeah, if I come over for a year and I can play with you guys. So what kind of law was it that you wanted to study and get into?
So I don't know what kind of lawyer I want to be really. Maybe I'll learn more about that once I'm in there. I don't know.
And what
We'll see.
did you study in undergrad?
Economics.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the minor in literature.
I wasn't an economics major. It just said it on my roster for some reason. I'm a business major. I was just straight marketing. I was not good at economics. I had to get out of there real quick. But yeah, so anyways, we can talk forever probably about anything else. I feel like all Filipinos can talk for a very long time. So this is perfect. Yeah. So we'll get into like your hockey journey. How did you even get started in hockey? Like, is it big in the Philippines? Is it like, did you start the first year that it ever came, or what was that like?
So it wasn't big when I started. But I got into hockey when I was just a kid, so like maybe 5 years old. My cousins grew up in the States, and when they came back, they made me and my brother watch the Mighty Ducks, all three movies. And so we started playing in our garage. Thankfully, they sold plastic hockey sticks and toy stores back then. But right now, I don't know where those went. So yeah, we started playing in our garage. And then when we got a little bigger, we got rollerblades, and then we moved to the driveway. And then we actually stopped playing because we moved to the province. So for 9 years, we lived in the province, no rink, no hockey sticks. And then one summer we came back, and then we found the rink. We played. We went ice skating, and then one of the hockey dads saw my brother, not me, and he was like, "Hey, do you wanna join our training? I think you'd have fun playing hockey." And I was just like, "Hey, I'm right here. Can I join too?" And he was like, "Oh yeah, okay." But then the thing is, like, for the past 9-10 years that we were in the province, and we'd spend the summers here in Manila, we'd still play street hockey. So I think when we got to the ice, we kind of had the puck handling down. I think for me, ice skating was a bit different. But yeah, so I think they saw a bit of potential in us, and they just kept inviting us. But at that
Yeah.
time, we still lived in the province, so I like for a year we were flying back. Like yeah, we took a plane, so it was an hour flight from Manila to Bicol, and we'd come back for training at least maybe once or twice a month, or no, like
What?
once a
You would have
month
to
or once.
you'd
Yeah,
fly?
like we
What?
yeah. So it does sound kind of crazy. I think looking back, I don't know, like we really did so much for hockey, especially at that time. And even when we moved back to Manila and kept playing, the rink is like 2 hours away from where we live.
Yeah.
So it was crazy, like so many hours on the road. And sometimes like Manila traffic is really bad. I think
Mhm.
one time it took us 4 hours. And when we got to the rink, we were just like, that's crazy. I can't believe we're doing this for hockey. But yeah,
Wow.
well, we really just love playing. So yeah, we did all that. Um, sorry, yeah. So that's how I started playing. That's how I got into ice hockey. And then yeah, I don't think we ever expected to play on a national team.
Yeah.
But it happened and still
We're
enjoying it.
here.
Still love yeah. Putting off law school for hockey.
Oh my goodness. That's so like I thought driving like an hour, driving 2 hours, whatever was long, but taking a flight to your practice once or twice a month, that's dedication,
Yeah.
I will say.
Well, yeah, not twice a month, but yeah. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
We did that.
Oh my goodness. That's awesome. So whenever you got into high school, is that when you moved back near Manila or how did you continue playing ice hockey?
Yeah, so I moved back when I was in third year high school,
Mhm.
and my brother started his high school here in Manila. Um, and that's when we started playing hockey regularly, like on the weekends. But at that time, hockey, like especially junior hockey or like PWs, Phantoms, around that age, there weren't a lot of players, and the players that were active were in different clubs. So in the club that I played, our trainings would get canceled a lot because we'd have less than 10 players signed up.
Oh,
So even after school, yeah. So even after school, when my brother and I would be looking forward to training, like we'd get in the car, be ready, we'd drive straight to the rink. But then our mom would be like, "Oh, training's canceled. Only 4 people signed up, and we were 2 out of 4." So yeah, training got canceled a lot then, and yeah, I mean, like looking back, it's we've come a long way. Like Hockey Philippines in general, like a lot more people are training now. There are a lot more kids. I think in all divisions you have at least 20 active players. Like when I say active, like they literally go to every ice time.
mhm.
So yeah, a lot's happened since we started, and it wasn't popular then. Like it's more popular now, but obviously we want it to grow bigger. Um,
Mhm.
but yeah, we've come a long way.
Yeah, definitely. How many players would you say are in the Hockey Philippines or just like the organization in general?
Um, Under 300, I think maybe even under 200. I'm not sure. Let's say 250. Yeah, but that's
250.
including like expats, women's team players, kids, and the men's team players. So and then everyone in between. Yeah,
Wow.
around 250.
There's
Yeah,
probably,
you want to ask any girl?
yeah, how many girls are there?
Okay, so the national team, like half of them live here in Manila, the other half live overseas for school and work.
Mhm.
So there's the national team, 20, plus maybe a few younger girls, like 10, 15, but that's it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's insane. Well, playing with the boys makes
That's,
you better.
yeah. So I started out playing with the boys. Like when I started, I think there were only 3 girls who play regularly. And then when we graduated from the bantam age and we still weren't that good, we had nowhere else to play. So we played in the men's league. with all the big expats, 6 feet tall. For reference, I'm like 5 feet tall.
Oh no.
Yeah. So that was an experience. Like I was really pushed. Like I had some men's team players now, like we're friends, but they'd yell at me to just get off the ice. Like, Danielle, what are you doing here? So that was tough. I really felt like quitting at that time. But right now they just smile at me and be like, oh, it's not bad. Or like, like I think like yeah, we've all gotten better. So
Mhm.
if not for those experiences, I don't know how we would have turned out. But yeah, so I did play men's hockey.
Mhm.
Right now there's a junior league and I'm not allowed to play in the men's league. So it's fine. Like I get to play with my team, but it's definitely different.
Yeah, for sure. Why aren't you allowed to play in the junior league or the men's league?
Um, yeah, so I think it's an IIHF requirement
Mm.
for every country to have a men's contact league and then a junior league.
Mhm.
And I don't think like it has to be like it's strictly a men's league. So yeah, I think more of requirements, but I still join pickup games when there are
Mhm.
ones that are organized. So that's fun. It's
Yeah.
fine.
It's fine. Tell them it's 2021 and that women should be allowed to play in the men's league.
There was one girl though who was allowed to play. She's a goalie. She was 16 when she was allowed to play, and shorter than me, and I'm 5 feet tall. But she was really good. She
Wow.
played well. They allowed her probably because she was a goalie, but I don't know. No players though.
Yeah.
So
Oh my
cool.
goodness. That's really rough because you're saying like there's 250 in the Philippines and in Minneapolis where I live right now, within a 1 mile radius, there's probably 1,000 kids, adults,
No.
teenagers that play. Like obviously Minnesota is like the land of hockey and the land of lakes,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it's
We can say
like
that.
it's insane. I mean, like obviously it's such a tropical culture, or a tropical climate and everything over there. So I feel like that would definitely play into it. Is it hard to get ice time? Like, is it really expensive over there too? Or
um. So all 250 people play in one rink. There's only one rink where hockey can be played. Yeah. Actually there's a rink in Cebu. I don't know if you've heard of it. So that's in like the Visayas region, like a different
Mhm.
island. But there are a couple of players there. And I don't really know them that well. But yeah, so two rinks, but then in Manila there's only one.
Mhm.
So yeah, it is kind of hard in that sense to grow the sport because everyone has to go to that one rink, and we all might end up fighting for the ice time. And
Yeah.
like right now, as it is, the mall only allows us to train after mall hours, so we have to wait until like 8:30 or 9 p.m. and then train or play until like 12 midnight. So yeah, our league games would run until 12 midnight, and then women's training would be at 6 a.m. on weekends, and I live an hour away, so I'd wake up at 4 and
Oh my
just
goodness. That's when you got to
I
sleep outside the rink.
yeah, I mean, I should think of that. But yeah, I mean, my mom goes with me every training because she's our team manager. So she wakes up at the same time, 4 a.m.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
dedication still.
I know. Yeah,
Yeah.
kills the social life. No Friday nights and Saturday nights, but
Hey, living the dream nonetheless. Well, okay, so you have been playing for, you said 10 years now?
yeah. So it was
Okay.
supposed to be our 10th year playing, but we didn't play the whole year last year. I don't know if it counts, but yeah.
Well, spiritually, you've been playing this year. So like
Yeah.
10 years, and did you ever want something more from it, or like Hockey Philippines is good for you, or like do you want to play professionally or anything like that?
Oh, um, well, I never thought of playing professionally. I never even thought of leaving the country to play. Um, I think I only started getting serious with hockey um, when the national team was formed, so like 5 years ago. And even then, every international tournament would just be very humbling,
Oh,
to say
yeah.
the least. Yeah. So when I say I started getting serious, I mean, like I started realizing like what I had to work on to get better, and like actually like committing the training. And then 2 years ago, my brother and I met Rachel Lianes and Melanie Ju. Shout out to them, because they really helped us get better. Like Mel's a coach, Rachel's a strength and conditioning coach, and I don't know, it was just really different learning from them. Realizing like what details you really have to pay attention to. Um, so yeah, to answer your question, I was always content with where I was because there was just a lot I knew I needed to work on, and I didn't have to be anywhere else. Um, yeah, I mean, I have a few teammates who moved to Canada, or one teammate who moved to Canada just to play hockey. So she
Really?
moved. She repeated like a year or two of high school just to play in Manitoba, Winnipeg. And then she stayed there. So now she's in Vancouver, and obviously, like the level of play is very different. Like it's a lot faster, high hockey IQ and all that. So she gets like you see it when she's here. Like she's more accustomed to like a high level of compete. Whereas here trainings are a bit slower paced, and like I said, I play the junior league, so it's not the same. And you do see that come tournaments. So I think in recent years, yeah, I was kind of feeling bad that I didn't really go anywhere or get the same training and all that. Um, yeah, so actually for a while, there was one bad tournament that I played in, and then when I got back, I was just feeling so bad because I was like, wow, everyone who's good is either overseas or they started playing when they were like 5 years old. And I started playing when I was 5, but that was like street hockey and like
Yeah.
no
It's
formal training.
completely different. Yeah.
Different, yeah. So like I'd say I started actually playing at like 14, and that's really late. So yeah, like I didn't think that I could get as good as I wanted to, but then again, like with Rachel and Mel, pointing us to like a more specific path like of training, like we knew what we needed to do, and it was just a matter of doing it. So I don't know, like maybe down the road, if I don't know, I don't really have a benchmark
Yeah.
to know if I would, yeah, like do well or how I'd fare. Although I told Mel that I wanted to go overseas and play in a certain league in a certain country, I won't name it, and she was like, "Oh, yeah, I think you'd be an average player there. Not great, but you do well." And I was just like, "Huh, no, I think I'd be above average." So I don't know. Like just because she said that, I think I want to go to that country and try to play. I don't know. We'll see. I've never thought of leaving home, so that's gonna be a big step, but we'll see.
Yeah. Well, honestly, like I give you mad props because if I started at 14 here in the States, like I get down on myself and I've been playing since I was 5. Like I look at all the Olympic players, I'm like, dang, like I should be that good. But like we all have our own journeys. And I think that's what like makes yours so special is you literally came from one of the most absurd, not absurd, like I love the Philippines, but it's like an absurd hockey spot, like you don't get that often. And so mad props to you. I don't know how you do it or how you keep pushing through, but
Well,
hopefully
come
we get to
over
play
here
together.
and we'll show you. Like, yeah, for sure. I remember, I think you posted something about retiring from professional hockey, and I panicked because I thought you meant retiring from hockey. I said, no, we still
Oh
have to
no.
play together.
No,
Okay, good.
I'm still playing. Don't worry. I don't know if like I'll play professionally or anything like that. I mean, I'd be down to come to the Philippines for sure. But like obviously with COVID, like I want to take the rest of this year off, and even next year, like who knows when things are going to be normal again, So I'm not rushing anything. And we're both young. We're like 24.
A lot can happen. We'll see.
I know, seriously. So like you said that there was only about 30 or 20 to 30 girls in the program. Like, how do you guys have any plans to grow the game more, or like what's like your biggest obstacles?
Okay. So like plans to grow the game. I think a year or two, no, like 2 years ago, we started the Learn to Play program. So that was a big step. Obviously, like before that, there was no Learn to Play program. As soon as we see a girl, she trains with the national team. But right now, there's the Learn to Play program, and we've gotten pretty good numbers in those programs. So there are two. I only attend one, and I see the numbers. A lot of girls. But they're still really young, and it's one thing to get them to try the sport and another to get them to fall in love with it enough to commit. And I think that's the part that we have to figure out, because one, it's not the most accessible sport. Like I said, the ice times are either super late at night or super early in the morning, and that's hard for kids, especially. And then parents have to drive them straight from school. So it really is a big commitment, and yeah, I don't know. And then there's the equipment problem. We don't have a hockey shop here, so
Oh
if they
no.
want to start playing, they have to order. I know. So if they want to start playing, they have to order gear from overseas. Although I think it was the IHF that gave us a few sets of gear, although for kids, like youth sizes, I think. But then we also get interest from junior and bantam age players and adults also, actually. But yeah, equipment is a big problem. And I always say, when I'm asked what it will take to get Filipinos interested in hockey, and my answer to that is, it's not actually hard to get them interested in the sport. It's more of making it accessible for them to get in the sport. Like they'd be interested. I mean, everyone here, like, they're a fan of basketball, volleyball, and hockey is so fast. It's so exciting. I don't see how any Filipino wouldn't like gain interest in the sport. But yeah, in terms of growing the game, I think it just has to be more accessible.
Yeah, definitely. And it's like what you're saying about the gear, like that is the most expensive part of hockey. And it's like, it's such a huge barrier because, the Philippines obviously isn't one of the richest countries in the world. And like, even in the States, like there's a lot of poor states. Like I grew up in one of the poorest states in the US, which is like, I don't know, Mississippi. It's like not a diss on them at all, but there's not a lot of income. And like just trying to get by basically. So yeah. Have you guys ever thought of like, have you heard of ball hockey before?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I've seen it.
Okay.
Yeah. But I don't think anyone plays it here. Yeah.
I think that would be such a good place to start because all it requires tennis shoes, stick, ball, maybe a helmet or something like that, and some gloves. So
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. I think I'm lagging. Sorry. No, I was saying, like, I think one of our next programs will be bringing sticks and balls to street basketball courts, because that's where like the crowds really are. That's where, I mean, kids just pick up a basketball, and I think that's the most played sport out there. And yeah, so like it would be a big thing to just bring sticks out, balls, and then get a few national team players showing kids and adults even like how to play like on random streets in Manila. But yeah, like that would be big.
Yeah. They say like so in the US right now, like there's the issue with getting kids on the ice because of like how expensive it is. Same over here. And so one of like the big initiatives is, instead of roller hockey, they're trying to introduce ball hockey because like it translates so much better to ice hockey. And so it's practically, I'm pretty sure it's 5-on-5. I've never played before, but this is what I've been told. I'm pretty sure it's 5-on-5, and there's like national team players here that go over. So you guys could start literally a ball hockey national team too. And I think it would be easier to translate over from ice hockey because like you don't have to learn to skate. Like most of you guys know how to run. So that part's settled. And then all you have to do is like stick handle and be able to shoot. So that could be a good option for sure.
There is a floorball team here though. And I tried, like I was on the team for a while. but I sprained my ankle, so I
Oh
don't know
no.
about knowing how to run. But yeah, you're right. Like that's a good start, definitely.
Yeah. So wait, what does the floorball team do there? Do they compete nationally or in the world?
Um, they do, but I think in terms of like during the game, I think they're still on the same level as us.
Okay.
So they also don't have that much training
Mhm.
resources. I don't think there's a floorball shop here either.
Mhm.
Um, oh wait, no, I think there is. So like sticks are more readily available. Yeah, but I think they're still growing the game just as much as we are, and I think they have the same amount of players too.
Yeah.
So
Dang. It's
yeah,
like now I'm
but then
starting to get
I
the wheels are turning.
yeah,
I want to help you guys as much as possible.
get over here. No, no, but I was gonna say like I forgot what. Oh no. Okay, so no, I was gonna say I think if we tried growing the game through floorball, we'd end up fighting for players. Like, no, don't play floorball. Like, come to hockey. This was meant to transition you to
Oh,
hockey.
I see.
I don't know. Like, yeah, because like that was the case for me. I tried floorball, and they tried getting me to play on their team. But then I said, no, like the first tournament I played, I sprained my ankle. I need my ankle to play ice hockey because I have tournaments right after your tournaments.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it might have to be a choice between the two sports down the line and
Hmm.
could go either way. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Well, if you guys need gear, I live in Minnesota, so there's like plenty of gear spots for me to go get it for you guys. Um, but oh my goodness, like it's so wild the fact that, well, first of all, we're worlds away right now. Like for me to get to you or you to get to me, it'd be like a 24-hour flight at least. And so that's just so
I
crazy.
know.
Like two Filipinos on the opposite sides of the world. I love that.
I
Oh my
know.
goodness.
Filipinos are everywhere, but yeah, it's amazing meeting people. Oh, do you know there's a Filipino who came over from Colorado?
Mm.
And she trained with us 16. She plays AAA there, I think. And she came over and then she talked to me after training and she was like, "Hey, do you know how I found out about you guys?" She was like, "Oh, because Kendall Coyne posted about the Philippine women's team. And I saw the post and I told my parents I wanted to come over. So she found us through that post. And like, I don't know how many other Filipino hockey players there are, but it's just a matter of getting them here."
Yeah. No, I like so it's crazy that my best friend that I grew up playing with like all throughout high school, middle school, everything, that she's Filipino. Like our parents are really good friends. Like we met at the ice rink, but like there were no other Filipinos playing in Mississippi. There's like not many Filipinos. Like honestly, it's funny to think about all my best friends are Filipino rather than like
Huh.
no offense to like white people or anything because I'm half white, but like I just like I mesh well with Filipino people. And then when I was playing Pins Elite in Pittsburgh, there was I think like three other Filipinos, and I was like, where are
Wow.
all these people coming from? Like, so I
Yeah, you
love
guys
that.
could afford it.
Oh, I know. We'll come over. I'll get her to come over. It's fine.
The
But
whole line.
yeah, in California, there's a ton of Filipinos too, which is awesome. So like anytime you go play pickup, you'll see a ton of them there.
Yeah, Rachel Llanos is from California. And then I think also in Vancouver, there are a lot of Filipinos. And
Mhm.
Winnipeg, I heard there are a lot of Filipinos in Winnipeg. I don't know. But yeah, it's just a
That's super
matter of
close to
finding
me.
for them finding us. But
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. I'll help you guys. I'll get you on my TikTok or something.
Fine.
So you said that you want to be a lawyer. You're not exactly sure where you want to go with that yet. Do you think that one day maybe you would want to end up coaching? Is that like on your radar at all? The Vonka Rays or something?
Oh, yeah, no, I actually coach 8-year-olds now. Well, I coach in the Learn to Play program, but then I also
Mhm.
do private sessions with 3 8-year-olds who I think are 9 now after COVID. But yeah, so I've had a lot of fun coaching. I think I miss it almost as much as I miss playing. yeah, definitely I'd want to coach a team. I don't know how I'd transition from like skills coaching to
Mhm.
team coaching. That's very different. But yeah, for sure, like I'd love to do that down the line.
Yeah. Oh my, what? I'll have to fly you over. You're coming to Minnesota. We'll teach you a few things. Just kidding. I just got here. I don't know anything. I'm still learning like all of that process of coaching because it is like, you know, like what you just said, skills coaching versus team coaching is completely different. And so, well, not completely different, but you know what I'm saying? It's like
Yeah.
one-on-one versus 20 in one, you know? Um,
Yeah.
but it's still fun at the end. Like the kids, like I'm sure even those 7, 8, 9 year olds, they look up to you so much. Like that must feel really good.
I love it. Yeah. Actually, like before I started coaching here, I was sent to a coaching camp in Malaysia.
Mhm.
And so like I was a coach there, and then the players were, I think, under 16. So from Malaysia, Thailand, Indonesia, Mongolia, UAE, Singapore. I had a few Philippine girls there with me, and I think, oh, and Taipei, and they're all under 16, and I'm from the Philippines. Some of them, like their women's teams are 3 divisions above us, but it was so fun because like yeah, they kind of looked up to me. Yeah, they did. And it was just so inspired. Like I was inspired by them. Like I never felt like I wanted to get better as much as I did. Like seeing them and hearing them like look up to me. I'm like, oh my god,
Mhm.
these players are looking up to me. I have to get it together and get good. Yeah, like they like until now they message me. I posted about doing online video sessions with Melanie Ju, and they were like, what, are you coaching, are you doing video coaching, can I call you? I'm like, no, I'm the student. But yeah. Yeah, but like they message me with questions and all. So yeah, like I think also part of the reason I like coaching is because it inspire, like they inspire me as much as I inspire them ish. So
Mhm.
yeah, so it's been great. What was the question? Was there a question, or did I just
I have no idea. I kind of just like I bounce around all the time, so don't even worry about it. But okay, is like you obviously have internet. My family, when I went there, like they had this little tiny portable Wi-Fi thing, and that was their internet. Because like they live in like a barrio where it's like kind of secluded. Like, is Wi-Fi very accessible over there to like all those kids that you're just talking about?
no, so I was talking about kids from overseas, so like Malaysia, Singapore, UAE, India.
Yeah.
So they were the ones that I was saying would message me. But yeah, I think other people here do have Wi-Fi, especially
Mhm.
within Manila. But then in the rural areas, so like the provinces, I think
Yeah.
the signal is like not as good.
Okay.
So
We'll have to get some Zoom calls with them then. Like that would be awesome.
I'll tell them. Yeah,
Yeah. Well,
yeah,
so like
okay. Okay.
I have you been seeing any of my posts about Female Athlete Society?
Yes, of course. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So like that's it's like free for everyone. And like all they have to do is create an account and like they can come on, get resources, talk to other female athletes from around the world. So like if your teammates, and everyone wants to join there, like I'm super down to have you guys on there. That'd be awesome.
Okay, I'll tell them. Thank you.
No problem. So I know it's super late there. I don't want to take up too much more of your time, but I do have one question that I ask to everyone on my podcast, and it is, if you had one piece of advice for the next generation of athletes, what would it be?
Um, it would be like, I'd say, make the most of whatever you have, like whatever situation you have, whatever resources you have, because I think there's always something that you can do with what you have. There's always something that you can learn. Like I started playing in a tropical country where hockey resources like are not, like there aren't that much. Then in the province, like I was still doing what I could to get better, whether it's stick handling or just watching a lot of YouTube videos, strength and conditioning, obviously. So yeah, there's always something that you can do. I think my advice would be just to make the most of whatever you have and whatever situation you're in.
Oh, I love it. Well, thank you so much for being on today. It's been so awesome getting to hear your story and getting to know you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well, there you have it. Thanks so much for tuning in today on the Unpaved Path. Feel free to subscribe for future podcast updates and to follow me on Instagram at ray.rust. Hope you guys have a great Wednesday.